News, CNN reports President Trump has no regrets about his new remarks on race that have frankly put his presidency in a deep crisis. With me now to talk about this historic evolution, Jalane Schmidt, Associate Professor of Religious Studies at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. She's also a local social justice activist. So, Professor, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Brooke.
So let's go back. The day before the protest, it was Friday night. You were stuck inside a church watching, live tweeting about the protest, the alt-right protest near the statue of General Robert E. Lee. Tell me about that evening.
Yes, well, actually, the torch rally was just across the street from the church. The torch rally was around the statue of Thomas Jefferson on the campus of the University of Virginia. I and several hundred others were in St. Paul Episcopal Church on the UVA corner. We were just concluding our mass prayer service when we were warned by the pastors that the alt-right had gathered outside and we needed to stay put. So people were very alarmed, felt very threatened. We didn't know at that time that there were students there that were being assaulted by the alt-right around the statue, but we were trapped inside for our own safety.
And you still feel, I mean, you're still worried about your own safety, is that correct to say?
Yes, I was advised to stay in a safe house this past weekend, and I had security with me 24 hours. I've been having to avoid certain figures and, getting hate in the email inbox and flyers under my windshield wiper and this sort of thing.
Back in June, there was a KKK rally in Charlottesville. Actually, Boyd Tinsley from the Dave Matthews Band was on yesterday, was telling us that this had happened just over the summer. And so you wrote about
it was July 8th. Yeah.
July 8th, forgive me, July. You wrote about the lessons of that experience. You said that America's house is on fire. What do you mean by that?
Yes. So what I meant when I said that America's house was on fire was that there was this encroachment of smoke and flames, and that too many people have been ignoring it for too long, but that people of color, Muslims, immigrants, LGBTQ folks, other marginalized communities have been having to flee the fire or go for cover for a long time now. We are calling upon all people of goodwill to stand up with us and to reject these messages of hatred, and we're trying to sound the alarm. This is not a drill, is what I was saying. The house is on fire.
Well, the word from the White House is that despite your saying the house is on fire, the president has no regrets today.
Yes, this has been distressing to many of us who are traumatized in Charlottesville, and indeed many vulnerable people around the country who have suffered assaults in the last 18 months with the rise of the Trump campaign and subsequent presidency. This is part of a general pattern of minimizing and denying the power of white supremacy and how much it threatens vulnerable communities.
Professor, just last question, do you have any hope moving forward?
My hope is that what I saw in Charlottesville, which was a mass mobilization of many members of the community, from students to clergy members to business owners, many different sectors of the community banded together. It was a great show of solidarity to reject this. I wish that the officials of the University of Virginia and the town had been more attentive, and that the police would have intervened in many of the assaults that took place. But what I saw from kind of rank and file civilians gave me a lot of heartened me, and I think it's an example to the entire country of what can happen when we join together.
Jalane Schmidt there in Charlottesville, thank you so much.
Thank you, Brooke.
You got it. Coming up next, a crisis of conscience for evangelical leaders who supported President Trump. Will they take a stand against him now? And what is former President Obama thinking? We'll talk to his former faith advisor coming up.
Nirvana said, here is your new audience.
Just suddenly so cool to be from Seattle. This is what grunge is.
There's so many monumental bands. That's the 90s.
The 90s, Sunday at 9, only on CNN. It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. I don't. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate.
Sometimes I leave the seat up on purpose.
Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Their experience is coveted. Their leadership is instinctive. They're experts in things you haven't heard of. Researchers of technologies that one day you will. Some call them the best of the best. Some call them veterans. We call them